and we are providing services for seniors and caregivers. So we do have many online programs and activities. So if you wanted to know more about Momiji, you can check our media site and internet, like our website. 私は、もみじで働いております、星恵子と申します。もみじの紹介なんですけれども、もみじは日系カナディアンの方が、住む非営利のアパートです。で、もみじがサービスを提供しているのは、60以上のシニアの方とその、ケアギバーの方です。で、今ですね、いろんな多くのプログラムはオンラインでやっておりますので、もしも知りたいという方は私どものウェブサイトをご覧ください。はい。で、次がですね、はい。So another, the Japanese social services. Today's, it's usually Chie is also hosting, like organizing the program, but she cannot join today. So I will introduce Japanese social services. Okay, so Japanese Social Services Agency is a non-profit agency. It's located at the second floor of JCCC, providing a counseling and a program in Japanese and English. So current service are they're providing remotely, and this is the telephone number. And they have a Toronto Challenge fundraising event, and so it's, I think it's already passed, but they do have an online program like a chair yoga, craft club, hot lunch social, or a home conversation with a social worker. 次の提供団体なんですけれども、いつもはですね、ジャパニーズソーシャルサービスのチェイさんが来てくれてるんだけれども、ちょっと今日は予定が合わなくて、来れないので、私の方から説明をさせていただきます。ジャパニーズソーシャルサービスっていうところはですね、非営利団体で日系文化会館の2階にオフィスがあって、日本語、英語両方で相談業務とかプログラムをしております。で、今は COVID なので、職員はリモートで自宅勤務でやっております。で、今あるプログラムは日本語プログラムとか、優しいヨガとか、クラフトクラブとか、ホットランチとか、いろんなプログラムをやっていますので、もしも興味のある方は、ジャパニーズソーシャルサービスの方に、ご連絡ください。以上です。Okay. So we can, okay, so let's share this one. Okay, for a second. Is it good?
Yeah, looks good, Keiko.
Okay, so, okay, Renee. Yeah, please
Great.
start.
Thank you so much to everyone for coming. Good afternoon and welcome to today's workshop on physical and emotional wellness for older adults. My name is Renee, and I'm the summer student working with Keiko at Momiji Health Care Society. I recently graduated from McGill, where I was studying kinesiology. So before we begin, I just wanted to take a moment and recognize that I'm definitely not an expert in wellness. And even though I learned a lot about this stuff researching for the workshop and in school, I know that all of you guys have been living this a lot longer than I have. And so I'm excited to hear some of the things that you do to stay well later on during the presentation as well.
はい、日本語で、So I will translate in each slide in Japanese. 皆さん、こんにちは。今日の高齢者のための体と精神の健康に関するプレゼンテーションへ来ていただいてありがとうございます。私はもみじで夏の期間学生で働いていますレネーと申します。私は最近マギル大学で理学士号を卒業しました。この講座を始める前に私は学校でウェルネスについてたくさん学びましたが、ウェルネスの専門家ではありません。皆さんは私より長い人生経験があるので、今日は皆さんがどんなことをして元気に過ごしているか、後で共有していただければありがたいです。
Okay, now I don't know how to turn on the mic.
Okay. Since we'll be participating in a little bit of exercise later on, I wanted to share this liability clause with everybody at the beginning. This basically acknowledges that Momiji and Japanese social services are not responsible or liable for any issues that could arise while participating in exercise. And make sure if you do experience pain, dizziness, or shortness of breath during the exercise or presentation, you stop what you're doing.
この講座の中で体を動かすビデオを見たり、呼吸法の仕方を教えたりと、実際に体を動かすことができますが、皆さんは自分のリスクでやっていただくことをお断りしておきます。つまりですね、運動に参加している間に万が一問題が起こった場合ですけれども、怪我したりとかそういった場合にもみじとか JSS は責任を負えないことを初めに申し上げておきます。
Great. So I think that learning about physical and emotional wellness is particularly important in the current pandemic and COVID-19 because so many of us have been isolated, not able to see our friends and family. But it's also important to look at wellness because of aging and all of the changes that are coming along with that. So first off, I'll start by defining wellness, and then we'll move into emotional and physical wellness, looking at strategies and resources we can use to improve these types of wellness. And as I mentioned before, partway through, we will also do a group exercise. So there will be a little bit of interaction during the presentation, but I ask that you hold off your questions for the Q&A at the very end.
特にですね、このパンデミックの期間中、皆さんの多くの方々は、孤立しているだけではなくてですね、それとともに、年齢とともにですね、体の変化もありますので、今日の身体的および心のウェルネスについて学ぶことは特に重要なことだと思います。最初にウェルネスとは何かをお話しした後、感情的および身体的なウェルネスを改善するためには、どんなことをしたらいいかを次にお話しします。またですね、ワークショップの途中でグループエクササイズのビデオを見ます。最後にはワークショップを通して意見交換をするので、質問は最後まで待ってください。でも何かありましたらチャットとかに入れて書いていただくのは結構です。
Okay, here are some key takeaways that I hope you will remember after this presentation if you forget everything else. So the first thing, as I'm sure you're aware, when we're aging, our health naturally begins to decline. So wellness for seniors is really about actively working towards maintaining our current status, whether that's our health status, our mobility, our activities of daily living, being able to maintain where we're at now. And the second point is to improve your emotional wellness by keeping a positive outlook, managing our stress, doing the relaxation exercises, and broadening our social networks. The last key point is to get moving. As we'll see in the presentation, any type of physical activity is really beneficial and good for you, and it will help improve your quality of life.
このプレゼンテーションの後で、皆さんに覚えておいてほしいことが3つあります。まず1つ目はですね、年を取るにつれて、私たちの健康は自然に、衰え始めます。高齢者向けのウェルネスとは、現在できている日常生活活動を維持するために積極的に取り組むことが、大切です。2つ目は、前向きな気持ちとストレスと上手に向き合うこと。あとは人との付き合いを、することは心の健康に大変重要なことです。で、3つ目は、とにかく動きましょう。どんな種類の、活動も、身体の活動も、とっても自分にとっていいことであります。
Okay. I'm sure that some of you have heard about wellness, but you may be wondering what exactly is wellness and how is it different from health? So the World Health Organization, WHO, they give us a clue by defining wellness as the optimal state of health of individuals and groups. The meaning that's used for wellness by the National Wellness Institute is a little bit more specific. They define wellness as an active process through which people become aware of and make choices towards a more successful existence. So really, wellness is a self-directed and conscious process towards achieving your full potential. This means that really health is part of your wellness, but wellness overall would be that full potential. And for seniors, this includes working towards maintaining your current status in health, in your activities of daily living, in your regular life, in your social network, and more.
はい、ウェルネスについて、ウェルネスっていう言葉を聞いたことがある方いらっしゃると思いますけれども、体の健康とどう違うんだろうって疑問に思われることはありませんか？世界保健機構 WHO では、ウェルネスの定義づけをこうしています。個人及びグループの最適な健康状態。また違う団体、国立ウェルネスインスティテューションという団体ではですね、ウェルネスを、人々が自分のより良い状態になるために自分で良い道を選択し行動に移すプロセスですと定義づけています。で、ウェルネスとは自分の潜在能力を最大限に発揮する、自主的なプロセスだということです。だからウェルネスには、最適な健康状態の達成という概念なので、体の健康はウェルネスの一部に過ぎません。
Wellness is multidimensional with at least 6 dimensions based on this diagram by the National Wellness Institute. There's probably a lot more dimensions of wellness that aren't covered in this little diagram, but we'll start off by defining these 6. The first 2, physical and emotional wellness, will be the main focus of this presentation. And physical wellness, this really means you're learning about the importance of physical activity, your diet and nutrition, and avoiding unhealthy habits. So this would include your physical health. Emotional wellness is more about being able to accept and manage your feelings and behaviors. I'll briefly explain the other 4, and as we'll continue the presentation, I think they'll become more clear as well. So social wellness is really about building your strong social networks, better communication with other people, and social wellness is about how you contribute to your community. Intellectual wellness is when somebody is focusing on lifelong learning. They're doing brain stimulating activities, so reading the news every morning, doing their sudokus and crossword puzzles. And they're doing these things to expand their knowledge, creativity, and problem-solving skills. Spiritual wellness includes somebody's religion, their religiosity, but quite generally, spiritual wellness is more about working towards developing your belief systems, your fundamental values, and creating a worldview. And the last one, occupational dimension of wellness, is about accomplishing your everyday tasks. So all the things that you're doing on a day-to-day basis, cooking, gardening, cleaning, and finding a balance of enjoyment or satisfaction while you're doing those tasks. These dimensions are all related, as we'll see on the next slide.
ウェルネスにはですね、この図のように6つの側面があります。最初の2つ、身体的および、感情的側面。これがこのプレゼンテーションのメイントピックになりますので、後で詳しく説明し、他の4つはここで簡単に説明します。まず、簡単にですね、フィジカル、身体的健康っていうことなんですけれども、これは不健康な習慣をやめて、身体活動とか食事とか栄養の重要性について学ぶことです。体の健康を含みます。で、感情的な健康、これがエモーショナルなんですけれども、あなたの感情や行動を受け入れてコントロールすることです。で、その他の4つ、この次が3つの、3番目のソーシャルっていうやつがですね、ソーシャルウェルネスは強いソーシャルネットワークの構築、だから友達とお話をしたり、いいコミュニケーションを図ったり、そういう、あとコミュニティへの貢献も大切だということです。で、次の4番目、インタレクチャルっていうのが知的ウェルネス。これはどういうことかというと、障害学習と脳刺激活動、例えばパズルやったり、クロスワードをやったり、数読をやったりして、自分の脳を刺激すること。それによって知識とか創造性とか問題解決のスキルを上げるということです。で、次に、5番目のスピリチュアルの方が、精神とかスピリチュアルウェルネスっていうんですけれども、宗教を持っている方は、この中の一つに入ります。一般的に、自分のことを信じること、あと価値観、世界観を含めてですね、それを作り上げるっていうことも、このスピリチュアルのウェルネスに入ります。で、6番目、最後のオキュペーショナルウェルネスはですね、日常生活の業務を通してのウェルネスで、どういったことかというと、日常生活を通しての仕事、例えば料理とかガーデニングとか洗濯とか、そういうことをしながら、楽しみとか満足感を見つけることです。で、これらの6つの側面ですね。このディメンションで側面って日本語で訳したんですけど、これらはすべて相互に関連します。で、次がですね、皆さんに質問を、します。皆さんが自分が得意なウェルネスの側面は何だと思いますか？
Good. Okay. So I'm going to launch a poll, and I'm curious to see what dimensions of wellness you all think that you're strong in. So if you can just click on the different dimensions, whatever you think you're strong in, and then you press submit. And your answers are anonymous, so we won't know who said what.
今、レネーさんの方で、質問をここで出しますので、自分に合うものをクリックしてください。Do I need to do anything from my side, Renée?
No, it should be good.
Okay.
And if it's easier, you can also write in the chat what you feel you're strong in.
So 皆さんが、So I don't see anything, Renée.
If you click on polls, it should be at the top, I think, of your screen. It might be under more.
Okay. Does anybody have seen the poll? 皆さん見えますか？なんで私見えないのかな？
I see people voting, so.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. そこに日本語でも書いてあるので分かりますよね。そのウェルネス、自分の強いと思われるウェルネスね。どの部分が強いと思われますかっていうことを聞いています。
And you can also choose multiple dimensions, so don't feel like you have to limit yourself to just one.
1個だけじゃなくて何個もある人は何個も選んでください。
Okay, you guys, I'm gonna close the poll in 30 seconds. So get those votes in. Okay, I'm gonna close the polls now, so I hope everybody got their answers in. Let's see what we have. Okay, so I hope you guys are able to see the results. It looks like a lot of us feel really strong in our physical wellness, which is great news. So again, that means that you're constantly learning about physical activity, engaging in physical activity, you're having the healthy diet, avoiding those unhealthy things. It looks like a lot of us are also strong in the spiritual wellness and occupational wellness. Overall, everybody seems to be pretty strong in everything, so that's great. Thank you guys for participating.
はい。ですね、このまとめで、皆さんのプールの状態を、答えてもらった状態を見ると、その身体的なウェルネスと、あとスピリチュアル的なウェルネスと、オキュペーショナル、日常生活を通しての仕事で満足感をするっていうものがとても高かったと、いう結果が出ました。Yeah.
Okay. Some of you might be thinking to yourself, why should I learn about wellness? And how is this actually going to help me in my life? Well, here is a review article from 2012 that looked at a bunch of different studies on cognition, our brain's ability to function, learn new things, remember everything, talk to other people. So it looked at the research on cognition and cognitive disease in terms of the 6 dimensions of wellness. So as some of you may know, our cognitive abilities decline naturally as we age, and this can affect our quality of life. And this study found that having one dimension of wellness can actually protect your cognition as you age. So this means that for all of us who are strengthening our physical wellness and engaging in that regular physical activity, maybe for some of us who are having strong spiritual wellness and practicing our spirituality, we are able to prevent some of those mild cognitive impairments and protect our brain's functioning later on in life. The researchers also suggested that wellness in at least 2 dimensions could protect your cognition even more than just in one, which is really interesting. And the last point, wellness in one dimension can enhance wellness in other dimensions. So one example is in one study, they looked at people who have no social network. So they don't have friends, they don't talk to their family, anything like that. And they compared the level of neuroticism, basically people's emotional irrationality, their negative emotions, maybe their anxiety and depressive symptoms. And people with low neurotic personalities had less risk for the cognitive impairment than people with higher neurotic personalities. So wellness in one dimension can enhance wellness in other dimensions, and it can also compensate for wellness in other dimensions. So as you can see, the dimensions of wellness are connected, and they can actually strengthen each other. And wellness overall can contribute to a healthy cognition, and it can prevent a decline in cognition later on in life.
はい、このスライドではですね、高齢者の研究した結果、このウェルネスと認知の6つの側面っていうことを研究した結果についてちょっとお話をします。皆さんはですね、なぜ健康について学ぶ必要があるのかと思われる方もいらっしゃるかもしれません。ある2012年の研究では、ウェルネスの一つの側面を持つことで、高齢になった時に頭の機能が良くなる、助けになることが分かりました。だから先ほど見た6つのディメンションっていうのがありましたね。それの一つの側面がいいっていうことは、とてもその頭の 老後の頭の機能を良くしてくれるっていう研究結果が出ましたということです。例えば、感情的なウェルネスを強化することで、軽度の認知障害を防いだり、人生の後半での脳の機能を保護することにもつながります。で、2つ以上の、ウェルネスの側面を持つことで、一つの側面を持つよりも認知を保護できる可能性があるという研究結果が、出ました。だから1個のウェルネスがいい、で、1個だけじゃなくて2個以上とか3個以上とか、そのウェルネスがあれば、強ければ強いほど、その頭の、健康にもいいよっていう研究結果が出ました。また、一つの側面のウェルネスは、他の側面のウェルネスを強化する、可能性があるということです。例えば、感情的なウェルネスと社会的なウェルネスはより強い関係があります。感情的なウェルネスを通してソーシャルネットワークを拡大するからです。で、一つの側面のウェルネスは上記の例と同様に他の側面のウェルネスを補ったりするので、お互いに相互作用があるということです。
Good. Okay. Emotional wellness. Let's talk a little bit more about this dimension of wellness, this aspect of wellness. This is about being aware and accepting of your feelings. So emotional wellness involves the ability to manage your feelings and related behaviors that come out of those feelings, which includes developing a sense of autonomy, managing your stress, and understanding your limits. As you progress towards achieving that full potential of your emotional wellness, you will be able to freely express and manage your feelings and maintain fulfilling, satisfying relationships with other people.
この講座の、is that okay?
Yeah.
この講座の中でその6つの側面があって、その2つ、その身体的なものと感情的なものをフォーカスして、これから説明しますね。で、まずはじめにエモーショナルウェルネス、感情、自分の気持ちですね、のウェルネスはどういうことかというと、自分の気持ちをどんな気持ちになっているかっていう認識をして、それを受け入れて、また自分の限界を知って、自立性を持ってストレスと上手に向き合う、行動するということが、感情的なウェルネス、につながるということです。こういった行動ができるとともに、感情を上手に表現して、そうすると他の人と付き合い方もうまくできるようになります。
Okay, here are some strategies to improve your emotional wellness. The first is to proactively manage stress. There are so many things happening in the world with the pandemic and other things that are maybe happening in your life right now, more personal events and changes, and you might be feeling sort of a constant level of stress. If you're not able to manage this higher level of stress, it's happening all the time, it can become chronic. And chronic stress is harmful to your health. It's exhausting to be always stressed out all the time. It's lowering your immune system, and it can be a risk factor for many diseases, including heart disease and mental illness. This is why it's important to first notice and understand your stress. So being able to identify where the stress is coming from. Maybe you're having some stressful event in your life and you're noticing some symptoms of stress. So for example, your sleeping or eating patterns change, you're having trouble concentrating. So first we want to understand where that stress is coming from. And the second thing is to cope with stress. There are a lot of strategies for stress management, and everybody deals with their stress differently. Some people might prefer talking to their friends or loved ones, people that they trust, in order to get advice or just vent and feel the relief of getting the stress off their chest. Other people might cope with stress by focusing on healthy distractions like relaxation or exercise. And the last way to proactively manage our stress, which is especially connected to emotional wellness, is preventing the stress. So this can be done by avoiding putting things off, making fast decisions rather than deliberating, and keeping a positive outlook. So the positive outlook is our next strategy for emotional wellness. This includes, emotional wellness includes the degree to which we feel good about ourselves and our lives, and people who are emotionally well are said to have less negative emotions. So we can try to keep a positive outlook by focusing on all the good things that we've done, rather than focusing on all of the terrible things we might have done in the past or things that we regret. And also, we can keep a positive outlook by forgiving ourselves or others for past wrongdoings.
はい。じゃあですね、その感情的なウェルネスをする方法をここで、紹介したいと思います。まず、ストレスを積極的に管理するには、感情的な健康に良いことを知ってください。パンデミックを含め、現在の生活で経験している変化や出来事により、皆さんは一定レベルのストレスを感じている可能性があります。また、ストレスは慢性的になる可能性があります。慢性的なストレスっていうのは、あなたの健康に対して悪影響を及ぼします。例えば、免疫力を低下させたり、心臓病や精神病を含む多くの病気の原因になるからです。だからこそ、ストレスを感じたら、すぐに気づいて覚えておくことが重要です。例えば、睡眠とか食事のパターンが変化したり、集中力が低下したとき、こういった状態はストレスを引き起こしている可能性があるので、そういったことを自分なりに特定すると、すごく、今自分はストレスになってるな、みたいな感じで、わかると思います。次にですね、ストレスの対処法なんですけれども、いろんなテクニックがあります。ストレスの扱い方は人によって異なります。例えば、信頼できる人と話すことを好む人もいれば、運動とかリラクゼーションのような健康的な気晴らしをするとストレスがなくなるっていう人もいるので、人それぞれです。また、ストレスを持たないこともとても大切です。これは物事を先延ばしにすることを避けて、じっくり考え込むのではなく、迅速に決定を下して前向きな見通しを考えを持つようにすることです。で、前向きな考え方を保つっていうことをちょっと説明したいと思います。自分の、ごめんなさい、感情的なウェルネスの状態を知りたいときには、自分自身と自分の人生についてどの程度満足しているかを考えてみると、自分がどういう状態なのかがわかるかもしれません。専門家によると、感情的に健康な人っていうのは、否定的な感情が少なくて、うまく困難を乗り越えることができるようです。前向きな考え方を持って、ストレスに上手に付き合う方法は、ですね、次の通りです。うまくいかなかったことにこだわるのではなくて、前向きで過去にあった良いことを覚えておくこと。また、自分を許して過去の過ちからまた先に進むっていうこともとても良いことだと思います。
Okay, let's talk about a couple more emotional wellness strategies. The next one is going to be relaxation, which is a simple technique to improve your emotional wellness. You can try mindfulness, which is basically you're staying in the moment, connected to your surroundings and everything happening around you. Another strategy would be trying yoga, deep stretching, or meditation. All of these relaxation techniques will help you to relieve your stress and maintain a positive attitude.
次はですね、感情的なウェルネスの方法の続きなんですけれども、まずリラクゼーションの方法なんですけれども、例えば自分の気持ちが落ち込んでいる時とか、ストレスがある時など、簡単にできる方法があります。例えば、瞑想とか聞いたことがあると思うんですけれども、一つの方法なんですが、これっていうのはどういうことかっていうと、周りで何が起こっているかを意識しながら、その時を生きるっていうことに、フォーカスするっていうことです。その他にも深呼吸とかヨガとかストレッチ、ストレッチなども、そのテクニックの方法としてあります。Then, so are you showing the...
Yeah, let's do a breathing exercise together now. So we'll take a deep breath in all together.
ですね、ここで、呼吸法を皆さんと1分間なのでやってみたいと思います。
Okay, so we're gonna breathe in together. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, go ahead, Kate.
じゃあ皆さん、息を吸って、1、2、3で息を吸ってください。1、2、3。
And then breathe out and roll your neck down.
And then, ブリーズアウトするときに、首を曲げてブリーズアウトね。息を吐く。
And then breathe in, roll your neck to the side.
And then 次は、インで、ブリーズインで、1、2、3で右。
Back down.
Yeah.
Other side. Back down. Back up. Breathe out. Should we try it one more time?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. で、皆さんはこれ今やったの分かりますね。ブリーズイン、アウトで、123、123、123で吸って、吐いて、そのネックをこうやって動かしながら、レネーさんのあれに合わせてやってください。OK。
Okay. Breathe in. Out. Side. Down. Other side. Down. Up. Breathe out. Great. Thank you guys so much. That was great. So there are tons of breathing exercises you can do for the relaxation. And sometimes when I'm driving, I forget to breathe, or when I'm eating, I forget to breathe. So it's always good to take a moment and just remember where we are, remember to breathe.
皆さんありがとうございます。ご協力ありがとうございます。どんなところでも時間がちょっとあればできる呼吸法ってできるので、皆さんもなんかちょっとストレスがあるなとかあったらやってみてください。
Okay, let's move on to the last strategy to improve our emotional wellness, which is the social connection. It's really important, and it's very good for your mental health and emotional wellness to have a strong support system and network of people that you trust and that you enjoy spending time with. As you can see, this is where those different dimensions of wellness come together and strengthen each other. So we have our social and emotional dimensions of wellness. The first way that you can try to broaden your social network is to reach out to friends and family instead of waiting for them to come to you. And in this way, you can focus on building strong, healthy relationships with your friends and family. So prioritize those important people in your life. The second is to volunteer for things that you're passionate about, things that you're interested in. As well, you can attend presentations, which you guys are already doing, to learn something new. And this also strengthens your intellectual wellness. One thing that you can do while attending these presentations is write a little message in the chat to somebody that maybe you see often at these presentations, because I know a lot of you come to these workshops very often, so you can always message the presenter or one of your friends. And another idea to broaden your social connection is to join a group that shares your favorite hobby and interests. This will foster more connections with people who share similar hobbies, and hopefully you'll have fun doing it. So if you love to read, you could join a book club. If you love to garden, the gardening club. Maybe you want to do more exercise, you can join a walking club. Yeah.
はい。次はですね、その心の健康を考えたときに、社会的なつながりっていうのもとても大切なことを紹介します。信頼できるお友達とかご家族の方とか、一緒に時間を楽しく過ごすことですね。これは精神の健康にとってとっても良いことです。お話をしたり、することで、また違うウェルネスの側面が強化し合えます。友達とか家族があなたに連絡をしてくれるのを待つばかりではなくて、自分から連絡をしてみようっていうことも大切です。で、あなたがやりたいと思うボランティア活動でも大丈夫です。はい。ボランティアね、時間あれば、いっぱいされると、いいことがたくさんあると思います。で、あとは、こういったプレゼンテーションにですね、参加することで、新しいことを学ぶことで、頭を刺激する。で、知的健康を強化することもいいです。で、次には、お気に入りの趣味を共有する、グループに参加することもおすすめです。例えば、読書クラブだったり、ガーデニングのクラブだったり、ウォーキングのクラブだったり、絵を一緒に描いてみたりとか、歌ったりとかね、そういうこともいいです。で、皆さんは、どんな活動に興味がありますか？で、チャット、so are you asking to put in the,
Yeah.
in chat only, or are you asking for hands?
Or raise the hand.
Okay. Yeah. So もしも、その活動、自分はこういう活動に興味がありますよっていう人は、こう手を挙げて今言ってもらってもいいし、チャットボックスに入れてもらっても結構です。
Okay, so now I'd like to just take a moment and ask everybody what kinds of activities you like to do to improve your emotional wellness. So you can type in the chat or raise your hand with either the feature or with your camera, and you can just unmute yourself and then, yeah, we can hear. So...
Yeah, I think Yoshie-san unmuted. So, do you want to, Yoshie-san なんかシェアしたいことありますか？
クラブいくつか入ってますけど。
どんなクラブに？
思います。ネイチャークラブとかハイキングクラブとかに入ってます。
So, yeah, she's joining.
ハイキングから帰ってきたばかりでちょっと遅れました。
So she's joining and then joining the nature club and hiking club, and then she just came back from the hiking club today to attend this session.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I see somebody else wrote in the chat. Oh, a couple of people. Yoga, seeing family members regularly. Ayako, did you want to unmute? Yeah, Ayako, you can press unmute.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that okay? So what happened now?
聞こえますか？
Sheila, could you just wait? Go ahead, Ayako.
はい。私は67歳の時に初めてピアノを習いました。ヤマハ教室のシニアのクラスでピアノを習いました。それで、主人が亡くなって一人暮らしでしたけれども、やっぱり夜が長いとかストレスがあるときはピアノを弾くと夜遅くでもとっても救われます。それから今までしたことのないこともう一つは俳句を始めました。 そして若返りクラブって JSS からあったんですけれど、今それがなくなって、友人から紹介してもらって、日本の区会でメールで送って俳句してます。俳句は自分の感情を表現するでしょ。
はい。
だからもう俳句を作るっていうことによって非常に精神面で救われます。それ以外にもガーデニングとか、いろいろしてます。洋裁もしてますし。
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, I just wanted to share in English what she said. She said when she was 67 years old, she started to learn how to play play piano when she was 67. And yeah, and then recently, like she started to making a haiku. You know haiku?
Yeah, the poems.
Yeah, the poem in Japan. So that will really stress relief for her. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. And then she does gardening as well.
Wow, so many things, Ayako. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gardening too.
Yeah.
Yes, really good gardening.
Oh, that's great.
You grow vegetable and then it's so tasty. If
Yeah.
Vegetable better than buying from a store.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. Maybe
I think Sheila.
Yeah.
I think Sheila maybe had something she wanted to say.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sheila.
Go ahead, Sheila.
Can you hear us, Sheila?
I want you to hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay. When I was a little younger, I'm 90 now, but when I was a little younger, I liked to play sports, mainly badminton and golf, and especially golf. It's such a friendly session that I enjoy playing with other people. But now that I am much older than I was when I was playing golf, that I find that I don't want to take part in group activities anymore. Do other people feel that way? I'm 90 now. Once I turned 90, I felt that I'm not going to play sports anymore. So suggestions, do I just go for walks around the block or jog, or even jogging is a bit too much for me? How do other people feel, or are they all younger than me?
So I just gonna translate in Japanese. Okay. シーラさんはですね、若い時にバドミントンとかゴルフとかすごくやってたそうなんですけれども、最近90になって、もうそれをする気がなくなってきたと。で、皆さんはそういう自分がこう、スポーツ、今までやってたんだけれども、やりたくないっていう気持ちになってきた方とかいらっしゃいますかって、なんかアドバイスとかあったら教えてくださいということです。
So if anyone has any suggestions for Sheila on doing more solo exercises, that would be great. But Sheila, we're going to start talking about physical wellness, so we'll get to that in a few minutes. Okay, and lastly, I see a couple of things in the chat. Some people like to join the community wellness exercise on Zoom, which is great, doing the online exercises. And somebody else used to volunteer before COVID. So those are great things. Okay, let's get back to the presentation. And thank you for sharing, everyone. I was so excited to hear everyone's answers.
皆さん、いろんな意見出していただいて本当にありがとうございます。
Okay, so in terms of learning more information about how to strengthen your emotional wellness, we have some resources, and all of these will be given to you afterwards in a resource package. So don't worry about writing any of this down. As well, I've also provided some resources for you to get out there and engage with the community to improve your emotional wellness. Oh, Keiko, you're muted.
ここではですね、いろんな情報をですね、レネーさんの方で集めてくれたので、感情的な心の健康とか、メンタルヘルスについての情報とかの紹介情報があるので、それをこの会が終わった後に皆さんにお送りします。
Okay, let's talk a little bit about the connection between the emotional and physical sides of wellness. So the first line we see that exercise reduces stress, depression, and anxiety, which is huge, right? Exercise, doing a little bit of that physical activity, will reduce your stress levels, your symptoms of depression, and your anxiety. One way that we see this is in our sleep. So sleep is a symptom of stress. Sometimes when there's stressful events happening in our life, we sleep more or we sleep less. And sleep is really a key part of both your emotional and physical wellness because it affects your mood and your energy for the next day. Exercise is something that improves your sleep quality, which means that you're able to fall asleep faster and sleep better. So when you're feeling stressed, exercise will reduce that and it will help promote better sleep. Going back to some other benefits of physical activity, we see that it improves your self-esteem, so how you feel about yourself. It improves your mood and energy, like we said, as well as your mental health. Group exercise classes are a really fun and motivating way to get active, and this type of exercise actually promotes 3 types of wellness: social, emotional, and physical.
体の健康とですね、感情的な健康の関係をここのスライドで紹介します。運動することはストレスとかうつ病とか不安を軽減します。ストレスを感じると睡眠習慣が変わることがよくありますね。多分私たちはあまり眠らないか、眠りにつくのが難しいとか、必要以上に眠ったりすることもあります。睡眠は身体的および精神的な健康に影響を与えます。運動するとより良い眠り、より深く眠るのに役立つので、睡眠の質を改善することにもつながります。身体活動、体を動かすことは私たちの自尊心とか、気分が良くなるっていうことなので、精神的な健康も改善されるということです。グループエクササイズのクラスはですね、楽しくやる気を起こさせる方法でもあるので、とても推奨されています。
Great.
Okay, so stop sharing, right?
Yeah. So now we're going to do the group exercise. So I'm going to share an exercise video with everyone. But again, just as a reminder, if you don't want to participate in the video, that's totally fine. It's only 5 minutes. So feel free to take a quick break, get some water, or you can just watch along.
ここでですね、5分間のビデオをお見せしますけれども、一番初めに言ったように一緒にやるかどうかは、ご自身の判断でお願いします。一番初めに言いましたが、やる場合はですね、ご自身のリスクでお願いしたいと思います。
Okay.
Hey there, April Vyasanex here with my mom, Aiko. Hi. Today we're going to do a 5-minute lower body workout, okay? Real nice and compact, all right?
In 5 minutes.
In 5 minutes. You ready for this? You can do anything for 5 minutes.
You got it.
Right? Okay, so here we go. We're just going to start by marching in place, okay? And so for this workout, we need you to have water handy and also a couple of pillows, all right? So while we're warming up here, go get those things, or you can even pause the video here and go get those things, okay? All right, let's do some quick side steps to the right. Good, just warm things up. Get our legs moving, get the blood flowing.
Get the blood flowing.
Very good. Okay, good job. All right, So our first exercise are going to be heel raises. Would you like to have a seat, Mom?
Yes, thank
And
you
Mom's
very
going to
much.
be doing all these exercises seated. I will do them standing.
All right.
Okay, so our first exercise is heel raises. So lift the heels up, feet hip distance apart, okay? And lift them off the floor. So here we go. Lift them up. 1, good. 2, nice. 3, we're going to 8. 4, okay. 5, 6, good. 7, and 8, and rest. Take a breath. Good work. All right, that's heel raises.
All right.
Our next exercise are just going to be knee lifts.
Okay.
So it looks like this. So knee up and down, up and down. Okay.
Okay.
Here we go.
All right.
Just gonna do 4 on each side. Here we
All
go.
right.
1. Oh, good. 2. I'll do that side. 3 and 4 and rest. Other side. Up. Good. 2. Good. 3 and 4 and rest.
All
Good
right.
work.
Good job.
Okay. Take a breath, but not too long a breath. Okay.
But keep breathing.
Yes. It's just 5 minutes, 5-minute workout. We can all do it. Okay. Next exercise would be leg extensions. So why don't you just kick that toe up to the ceiling and back down. Okay. That's all we're going to do.
Okay.
Ready? Go. So 1. Good. 2. 3. And 4 and down and rest other side. Ready? 1. Good. 2. Nice. 3 and 4 and down. Good work. Okay. Take a breath. We got to get ready for our next exercise.
Okay, doke.
Is the pillow squeeze. So put the pillow between your legs.
Okay.
And we're just going to squeeze it for 8.
Okay.
Okay, we're working the inner thigh. Here we go. 1. Good. 2. 3. 4. 5. Squeeze. 6. 7. And 8. And rest. Good work. Okay, done with the pillows.
All right.
Okay. This is like super speedy workout. Last exercise are the chair stand-ups, okay? The goal is going to be this and standing up.
Right.
Why do we need to do this, Mom?
Get off my favorite spot, the toilet.
That's right. Okay. Right. And
By
if-
yourself. You don't want to
Exactly.
call anybody.
Right. And if you can't do that,
Yeah.
you can put your hands on your thighs
Yep.
and then
Push yourself.
push yourself up,
That'll work.
or you can put your hands on the side of the chair,
Right.
push yourself up. And if you
Right.
can't stand up all the way, that's okay.
That's
We
okay.
just want you to be able to get your bum off the chair.
That's right.
Okay?
Even this is
That's
good.
right. You can progress as you keep doing these exercises.
Good.
Okay? All
right.
right, so let's do it.
All right.
Let's do 8.
All right.
Ready?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do it in squat mode. So go. 1, good. 2, and this is a squat.
I'm using the chair
3,
side chair.
that's fine. 4,
Okay. Now I'll use my hands.
5, good. 6, nice. 7, and just one more. And 8, and nice job. Very good. All right. Good work. We just want to stretch it out a little bit. So let's kick the leg out. Reach for the toe. You don't have to touch it. That's okay. Other side. Straighten the other leg. One leg up, other leg bent. And breathe. All right. Very good. All right. Well, hey, nice job on this 5-minute lower body workout.
It's a quickie.
Exactly. But hopefully get you started
Yep.
on your journey.
Right.
Okay. So good work. Thank you for joining us. We look forward to seeing you in a future video. Oh, yes. And if you like this video, please give us a like, share a comment, and subscribe to our channel. We look forward to seeing you real soon. And in the meantime, keep moving.
See you soon.
Okay, thank you guys so much for participating. I saw everyone doing the moves. That was great. Keiko, if you want to go ahead and share the presentation again.
So next one, right?
Yeah. So how was the exercise for everyone? You can give me a thumbs up if you liked it or thumbs down if you didn't like it. It was just a short 5-minute one. I hope everyone has their thumbs up.
Yeah. Okay. いや、皆さんどうでしたかってね、聞いていましたね。よかったですかね。Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk more about physical wellness. These are the components of physical wellness. So as you strive to reach your optimal physical well-being, it would involve having regular physical activity. And physical activity really means any kind of movement. So this includes shopping, gardening, cooking, cleaning, all of those regular activities that you're probably already doing. And just to clarify, when we talk about exercise, this is the planned physical activity like we just did. Physical wellness would also include learning about and applying the healthy diet and nutrition, avoiding unhealthy habits, for example, smoking cigarettes, doing drugs, and having excessive alcohol, drinking excessive alcohol. It would also involve something called medical self-care. And this basically means that you're taking responsibility for minor illnesses. Let's say you get a cut, putting a Band-Aid, cleaning your cut, taking your medications every day. And it also would involve knowing when you need medical attention and then going to see the doctor. So essentially, your optimal physical wellness would look like somebody who has good eating habits, regular exercise, and they're taking care of themselves.
はい、次にですね、フィジカルウェルネスについて説明をいたします。身体的な健康っていうのはどうやって保てるかっていうことを紹介させていただきます。まず、定期的に体を動かすことっていうのはとてもいいことです。運動っていう運動だけじゃなくて、ショッピングとかガーデニングとか料理とか毎日のしなきゃいけない仕事をすることで動かすこともとてもいいことです。で、次はあなたの食生活に関する食事と栄養について学ぶこともとても大切です。で、あとは、タバコとか薬の使用とか過度のアルコールの摂取など、そういった不健康な習慣を避けるということも、大事です。その次が医療管理ですね。病気でそのドクターのアポイントメントをちゃんとやるとか、薬もちゃんと出されたものを、管理することも大切です。で、あとは、その最後は、最適な身体的健康ということで、良い食生活と定期的な運動をすることは、とても大切です。で、次にですね、皆さんに質問をしますね。先ほどと同じように、ポールってね、それで質問をしますので、それに答えていただければと思います。
Great. Okay. So, Keiko, if you want to advance to the next slide,
Okay.
We have another polling question for everyone.
Right.
So this time, I'm curious to know what kinds of things you do for your physical wellness in your regular life. So we talked a little bit about this last time when we were talking about our emotional wellness, but let's talk specifically about physical wellness.
先ほどやったプールで違う質問なんですけれども、毎日の生活で心がけてやって体を動かしていることはありますかっていうクエスチョンです。
So just the same way that you did the last time, you can select multiple options, and when you're ready to submit, you just click next or submit, something like that.
先ほどと同じように1個だけ選んでもいいし、2個でも3個でも4個でも当てはまるものを何個でも選んでもらって結構です。
Last time, I think we had 13 responses. So this time, if we can get to 15, that would be awesome. Great. I'm seeing a lot of people respond. That's amazing. There's still time. I'll keep it open for another 30 seconds. So if you haven't written your answer, please submit now.
はい。あと30秒で切りますので、やってない方は、選んでみてください。
Okay, last call. If you haven't voted yet, please do so. I'm going to close the poll in a few seconds, okay? Great. Okay, we had 16 people vote this time, which is amazing. So it looks like most of us are really doing that light physical activity, which is great. We're doing stretching, walking, our regular chores, like I said, the cooking, the gardening, the cleaning. And a lot of us also focus on eating healthy. Another amazing thing, the diet and the exercise are really two important keys for the physical wellness.
今の統計を取るとですね、たくさんの方が、軽い運動をすることを心がけているようです。ストレッチしたり、クッキングとか、普通の日常生活を通した、軽い運動をする人が多い。あとはもう一つ多かったのは、健康的な食生活に心がけるっていう人もとても多かったようです。
Okay, so let's talk more about eating healthy and our diet. So the Canada Food Guide, which is on the left side of this slide, shows that half of your plate should be fruits and vegetables. This means that half of your diet, half of all the food that you've eaten all day, should really be fruits and vegetables. As well, they make water their drink of choice. Water is really important for your diet because dehydration is one of the most common causes of hospitalization for people over 65 years old. So drinking lots of water before you get thirsty is very important. A couple of nutrients that are also important for aging are we have fiber, protein, and omega-3 fatty acids. So fiber, this is found in whole grain foods, fruits and vegetables, and nuts and seeds, is very important because it prevents diabetes and obesity. Fiber also reduces our blood cholesterol levels, blood pressure, risk of heart disease, and intestinal cancer. So let's all add a little more fiber to our diets. As well, protein, which is found in the meat, poultry, legumes, sort of the beans like chickpeas, kidney beans, and whole grains. Protein is important for older adults, and the requirements for protein actually increase as we age. So protein is often a nutrient deficiency for older adults. And protein is important because it helps with our muscle recovery and immune and brain function. Lastly, we have the fat. So fat overall is important for producing certain hormones. Specifically, omega-3 fatty acids, which are found in fish, plant oils, nuts, and seeds. These are important in older age because they reduce the risk of heart attacks, they strengthen your immune system, and interestingly, they have a protective effect on depression. So if you're interested in learning more about how to have the healthy diet and boost your immune system, come to the next seminar presented by Yuka, the Director of Care at Momiji. That will be the main topic for the next 2 workshops.
次にですね、身体的健康の側面についてもっとお話しします。食事は体の健康の重要な要素であり、年齢を重ねるにつれて健康的な食事の内容が、変わっていきます。どういうことかというとですね、カナダの食品ガイドっていうのがあって、そこでは、あなたの食事の半分は果物と野菜がいいと、示されています。水もあなたの食事にとって非常に重要です。脱水症状に、なることが65以上の人々の間でとても多い入院の原因の一つになっています。ですね、水を脱水症になると、筋力の低下とか混乱とか腸の苦痛につながる可能性があると言われています。で、繊維も取った方がいいです。繊維はどんなものに含まれているかっていうと、全粒穀物食品とか果物、野菜、ナッツ、種などに含まれています。これはですね、心臓病や腸がんのリスクに加えて、糖尿病や太りすぎ、血圧や血中コントロールの低下など多くの利点があります。 高齢者の方は、タンパク質の、を取った方が、量を取るっていうことが、推奨されています。なぜかっていうと、筋肉の回復と免疫機能に役立つからです。で、また多くの高齢者の方が、そのタンパク質を、取る摂取量が少ないと、言われています。で、タンパク質はどんなものに入っているかっていうと、肉とか豆類、あと全粒穀物に入っています。あと脂肪ですね。脂肪は、特定のホルモンに、作るために重要なものです。オメガ3脂肪酸ですね。どういうものに含まれているかっていうと、魚とか植物油、ナッツ、種に含まれています。これは心臓発作のリスクを軽減したり、免疫システムを強化して、うつ病を予防する効果があるために、取った方がいいとされています。食事療法とか免疫システムを高める方法についてもっと知りたい方は、この次、7月の第4週の水曜日に、講座、免疫を上げるための講座がありますので、ぜひご参加ください。
Okay, let's talk more about physical activity. So these are the current Canadian physical activity guidelines for adults over 65 years old. So they suggest at least 150 minutes of moderate to high intensity aerobic physical activity per week. Moderate intensity activities make you sweat a little and breathe harder. So this would include brisk walking, so walking very fast, and biking. Then we have the high intensity physical activity. Those will make you properly sweat and be out of breath. So that would be, for example, cross-country skiing or swimming. Now, what you might not know about these 150 minutes is that this is a cumulative effect. So you can break this down into bouts of at least 10 minutes. So that means that if you exercise for at least 10 minutes at a time, a couple of times a day, that will all add up to your 150 minutes. So maybe you go for a fast morning walk, a fast afternoon walk every single day, and you'll get your 150 minutes. As well, in addition to these 150 minutes, we also have to engage in muscle and bone strengthening activities 2 days per week. And then, especially important for aging, is balance and fall prevention exercises. So these are things that will challenge your center of gravity, and they can be done when you're sitting, standing, or doing other movements. And basically, this would be, for example, leaning from side to side on your chair. Maybe when you're standing, you're leaning from side to side. Maybe you practice holding on to something while you do a movement, and then you release one hand, you release the other hand. So challenging your balance, even when you're watching TV, talking to your friends on the phone, these are all really important exercises.
次はですね、身体活動のガイドラインっていうことを、ものがあったので、それを説明します。これはですね、65以上の人のための、体を動かす活動のガイドラインです。中程度の身体活動とは、少し汗をかいて呼吸が困難になります。例えば、ウォーキング、早歩きですね。あと、サイクリング。これが中程度の、もので、激しい運動というと、汗をかいて息を切らすぐらいの運動、例えばクロスカントリースキーとか水泳とかです。で、このガイドラインによると、この65以上の人は1週間で150時間、トータル、累積的に150時間の時間運動すると効果があると言われています。だから1回少なくとも10分以上の運動を、例えば1日2回ぐらい行うと、だいたい週に150ぐらい、になりますので、20分間やるのが難しかったら10分10分で区切ってもいいということです。 で、もう一つ高齢者にとって重要なのは、筋肉と骨を強化する運動をすることで、バランスと転倒防止に役立ちます。バランスと転倒防止、座ったり、立ったり、歩いたり、その他の動きをしながらバランスを取ることに挑戦する。例えば、片足で立ったり、左右に傾いたり、まあ、それは自分でちょっと怪我しない程度にやってください。で、することもいいでしょう。で、テレビを見ながらやったり、電話で友達と話しているときに運動することもいいんではないかと言っています。
Okay, so for some of us who may have felt overwhelmed at the idea of doing not only 150 minutes of exercise per week, but an additional 2 days of exercise, these are Canada's first ever 24-hour movement guidelines for older adults, and they released 3 main recommendations in late October 2020, so just in this past year. The 3 main recommendations are essentially, so the first one is to move more. So this includes that moderate to vigorous physical activity, but they also found that light physical activity, including standing, is important and it's good for you. They also found that getting 7 to 8 hours of good quality sleep and having a regular sleep routine is part of that healthy 24 hours. And especially important for some of us who may spend a lot of our time not doing many activities, maybe we're just sitting down a lot of the day, it's important to break up that sedentary time, the time that we're inactive. So you can get up and move around. So for example, when you're watching TV while standing instead of sitting is a great way to get a little bit of that light physical activity in there. So these guidelines ultimately suggest increasing your activity by 1 level. So for some of us who are more inactive, we're having more sedentary behavior, increasing the amount of physical activity you do every day will be great. And for those of us who are already a little bit active every day, let's try to increase that to a more moderate or vigorous physical activity. These guidelines are associated with a list of benefits here, reduced risk of premature death, heart disease, diabetes, weight gain, several cancers, and better bone health, along with reduced anxiety, depression, and dementia, and improved cognition and quality of life.
はい。次にですね、カナダ運動生理学協会というところで、成人向けに初めて24時間の運動ガイドラインを出しました。ここで、3つのことを言ってます。これはですね、1つ目、もっともっと動きましょう。この動くことはとってもいいことだっていうことと、あとよく眠ること、1日7から8時間ぐらい眠ることはいいこと。あとは座る時間を少なくする。だから起き上がって、歩き回ったりとか、あまり座らないで、なんか運動するっていうことは、とてもいいことです。これらのガイドラインはですね、では、心臓病とか、第2型糖尿病とか、体重が増えることとか、がんとかのリスクを下げるだけでなく、骨の健康と改善に役立つということです。この運動をすることでね。それをするとさらに、不安とかうつ病とか認知症とか、そういうことの改善にも、なるということです。
Okay, so as we age, some of the mechanisms that are constantly happening in our body, so our heart pumping the blood, its function, our lungs breathing in and out the air, these mechanisms become less efficient, which basically means that when you're trying to do your daily tasks, for example, you're doing your cleaning, you probably have less energy afterwards than you did maybe 10 years ago. So it's more draining to do those everyday tasks. This is reflected in your aerobic capacity, which we see on the left side of this screen. So basically, with your age, aerobic capacity naturally decreases. But with exercise, we can increase our aerobic capacity such that after we're doing some of those regular tasks, we feel a little bit more energized afterwards. Now, look at all of these benefits of exercise. I'll go through a few with you, but there's so many. You can take the time to read it or listen to Keiko as she explains it too in Japanese. We also see that physical activity increases our muscle strength and power, our balance, cognitive function, self-esteem, mood, and stress, like we said earlier, quality of life and mental health, reaction time, so our ability to notice something and then react, so catch a falling bowl, for example, and functional independence, so your ability to do all of those daily tasks that you're doing now, do those on your own. It also maintains your fitness, improves and maintains your weight and your bone health, and it helps to maintain your movement quality. Now we see that physical activity also reduces the risk of a lot of chronic conditions, reduces the risk of certain cancers, it reduces the risk of losing muscle and falling, as well as pain and stiffness. Go ahead.
この運動することの利点の続きなんですけれども、まず年を取るとともにですね、心臓と肺の機能など、体内全般の機能の効率が低下してきます。皆さんも経験されているかもしれませんけれども、ガーデニングとか家事などをして、10年前は同じことをしても疲れなかったけれど、今は同じことをしてもすごく体がきつくなるっていうようなことはありませんか？これはですね、様々な仕事中に機能する心臓と肺の能力を測定する有酸素能力に関係があります。年齢とともにですね、有酸素能力は低下しますけれども、運動するとですね、これを増やすことができるんです。運動して有酸素能力が高くなる体を作ることで、日常のタスクを実行するときに、エネルギーをあまり使わないくなるので、疲れをあまり感じないことができます。で、ここのスライドで書いてあるように、いいことが左側にあって、で、これは真ん中が維持できることで、で、リスクが右側に書いてあって、いろんなリスクが下がるよっていうことを言っています。
Okay, so I am positive that many of you already know that there are a ton of benefits to exercising. Maybe you didn't know that whole list, but there's even more, and I'm sure you know a lot of them. So if we all know that there are a ton of benefits to exercising, why aren't we exercising all the time? I was in school learning all these benefits for the past 4 years, but the number of times that I went to the gym, I could probably count on one hand. So I know that it's often hard to find motivation to exercise. Some of us might be actually afraid to exercise, and some people might just hate certain types of exercise. So I think the most important way to start exercising is to make it fun for yourself, because once you truly start to enjoy the exercise, that's how you're going to be able to sustain a lifelong exercise routine. So some tips on including exercise in your regular life is to take the stairs instead of the elevator. So anytime you see stairs or an elevator, if you know that it's safe for you to do so, just grab onto that railing and take the stairs. As well, you can try to use what you have. So in order to do those muscle and bone strengthening activities, which is more the strength workouts, you can use a soup can. Maybe you have some water bottles, tights and scarves that you can use as resistance. So those are some good at-home equipment that you probably already have. As well, Sheila, you mentioned what kinds of things can we do on our own? Well, you can do the exercise videos. This way, it's partially on our own, but there's still somebody guiding us through. And it's important to look for videos that are made for your target age group. So personally, I like to find videos where somebody looks like me when I'm doing it. And so maybe you would find that motivating to find someone who is in the same age as you or having the same condition as you doing those exercises. As well, it's important when you're doing those exercise videos to make sure that the trainer is certified, either as a personal trainer, a physiotherapist, occupational therapist, kinesiologist. It's important for them to have actually certification so that they know what they're talking about. And importantly, go outside, right? We're having such beautiful weather. It's summertime. It's good to get outside. If you are a gardener, that's great. You're already getting active, right? You're doing the bending, squatting, stretching, lifting. That's all good resistance exercise. I know my grandparents every summer, they love to go and hike for berries. So you can go and bring a basket and get some strawberries or blueberries, whatever. And those are also good exercises, and it's good to be outside. My personal favorite is to call somebody anytime that I go for a walk, because this makes me feel like I'm having that social element and I'm connecting with friends and family. Lastly, we have our group exercise classes. So at Momiji, we offer some exercise classes, and hopefully when things reopen, more people will be able to join. But there are a ton of online virtual exercise classes you can join too.
ですね、運動をするときに、一番大切なことはですね、自分が楽しいって思う気持ちが一番大切です。だから人によって好きな運動とか嫌いな運動とかあると思うので、自分のその好きな運動を見つけることを楽しんでやったらなんていうかずっと続くと思います。他にティップとしては階段の上り下りをエレベーター使わないでやることで筋肉とか骨の強化ができるっていうことで。あと、身の回りにあるものを利用するっていうことですね。重りとしてスープ缶とか、水筒とか水とか、そういったものを利用することもいいです。レネーさんの、おばあさん、おじいさんは、ベリーピッキングが好きで、それによると、立ったり座ったりするので、いろんなところが強化されるっていうのと、レネーさんの、好きなのは、お友達と歩くときにお友達に声をかけて一緒に歩く。それは、とてもいいですと言っております。
So here are some more resources that I found, ways for you to learn more about improving your physical health, and then ways to actually do it. So we have a lot of group exercise classes here, and just general videos that I'm going to share with you afterwards. So keep an eye on an email for that. Oh, Keiko, you're muted.
リソース集めたやつがいっぱいありますので、これを後で送りますね。
So again, this is just a review of our key takeaways. So wellness for seniors is really about the maintaining your current status. Improving our emotional wellness looks like somebody who is keeping a positive outlook, managing stress and socializing. And also we want to get active. So as we learned, any type of physical activity, including standing, is really good for you and will help improve your quality of life.
最後にですね、今日学んだことなんですけれども、ウェルネスとは、あなたの潜在能力を最大限に発揮して、前向きな気持ちで、取り組むっていうことと、その前向きな気持ちを持つことで、ストレスと上手に向き合って、自分自身に合うリラクゼーションを見つけ、人とのつながりを持つことは、とても、ウェルネスにいいです。で、あとはとにかく動きましょうっていうことですね。それがあなたの、全体的な